I want to read you a statistic. Women are 32% more likely than men to fear that using AI at work will be seen as cheating. Not because women don't understand the technology, and not because we're more anxious by nature, but because, and this is the part that gets me, we're right. The research shows we do actually get penalised for it more than men do. So let me say that again, so it's completely clear. Women have correctly identified that the rules are different for them, and the response has been to call that a confidence problem. It's not a confidence problem, it's a system problem. And today, we're talking about it. Welcome to Unfiltered and Unbound. I'm Kate, and this is an unfiltered take. So I'm solo today. There's no guest. It's just me and some research that genuinely got under my skin this week. Now, I don't normally talk about AI on the show, but I've come to realise that this particular conversation, the one about who gets to shape AI and who gets left out, is very much about power and about women and about what happens when we're not in the room. So let's go. So last week, Lean In, that's Sheryl Sandberg's women's leadership organisation, published research from a survey of over 1,000 adults about AI in the workplace. And the headline number is this: 27% versus 33%. That's of women who use AI daily versus men. 6 points. Women using AI every day versus men. And fine, on its own, 6-point gap, not catastrophic. But here's what creates that gap. And this is where it stopped being a statistic and started being something I needed to talk about out loud. Only 30% of women said their manager actively encouraged them to use AI at work. 37% of men got that encouragement. That's not a women problem, that's a management problem. And when women do use AI, men are 27% more likely to receive praise for doing the exact same thing with the same tool, same output, different recognition. Now, women who use AI visibly are twice as likely to see their professional reputation take a hit. And then there's the 32%. So women are 32% more likely to fear being seen as cheating. And as I said before, that fear is not irrational. A working paper from 2025 found that when the same piece of work was identified as AI assisted, women received a 13% competence penalty. Men received 6%. Same work, same tool, different consequence. Sandberg put it this way, and I think she's being characteristically generous to the people responsible. She said, the managers who are encouraging the men to use AI and not the women, they may not even know they're doing it. Maybe, but whether it's intentional or not, the outcome is identical. Women are being quietly steered away from the tool that is rewriting the economy. And here is why that matters so much right now. 3 times more likely. So women's jobs are 3 times more vulnerable to AI automation. 3 times. The tool that could protect your career, that could make you faster, more skilled, and more valuable in the changing market, that is the tool the system is discouraging you from using and penalising you when you try. So I need you to understand what that means. So this is not an abstract. This is about what happens to women's economic security over the next decade. Now, I want to add something to this picture because I think the women are falling behind in AI framing actually misses something quite important here. So there was another survey that came out last week. This one was from Chief, which works with senior women leaders. And what they found is not that women were absent from AI, it's that women are already doing most of the consequential AI work in their organisations and being overridden while they do it. So 80% of senior women leaders are already playing an active strategic role in their organisation's AI efforts. 80%. Not waiting to be invited, they're already in the room. And the largest single group, nearly a third, are doing what Chief calls governance work, evaluating whether AI is being implemented ethically and responsibility in a way that actually accounts for its impact on people. Chief's framing of this is probably the best sentence I've read about women in tech this year. They said women aren't slow adopters, they're early governance architects. 83% of these women leaders believe cautious AI adoption is a sign of good leadership, not resistance, not fear, leadership. And yet 68% say their executive leadership is overriding that caution, prioritizing speed of adoption over sustainable implementation. So women are in the room raising the right concerns and being told to move faster. So here's what both of these surveys are actually telling us together. So women are not absent from AI. We are systematically being excluded from the visible, credited, promoted layer of it while doing the invisible work that determines whether it's built responsibly. We are being discouraged from using it at the entry level and overruled when we lead it at the senior level. That's not a pipeline problem, that's a power problem. So I'm going to leave you with that for this week. Not because I don't have more to say, I have plenty to say, but because I think it's worth sitting with the problem before we get on to what to do about it. So next week, we'll be coming back with part 2 of this conversation, and it's going to feel different because it's about us specifically, about what it means to be a woman of our generation, standing at this particular inflection point in history, and about why I think we are actually exactly the right people for this moment. But this week, I just want you to notice when you use an AI tool and something feels off, when a colleague gets praised for work you did the same way, when you hesitate before using a tool because you worry how it'll look, I want you to notice it and I want you to name it because you are not imagining it. So I'll pop links to both pieces of this research in the show notes, and I'd love to know if this landed for you. Come and contact me on LinkedIn. So if you enjoyed today's episode, I'd love it if you could leave a review or share it with someone who might need to hear it. And make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss what's coming next.